Keenan's with us. James, why don't you have a seat at the table?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, James Keenan. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Have a seat. We've spoken a little bit about James's area of expertise and study. He's a researcher and an author touching on a lot of the stuff that we're interested in here at the ranch and has some interesting connections that he thinks he's found.
All right. We've been applying hard science to figure out the bizarre phenomena that keep happening at Homestead 2 and other parts of the ranch. But so far, nothing definitive has been discovered. So Eric Bard invited a researcher named Jimbo Keenan, who has been studying this area for more than 25 years and had a theory about what might be causing all the strange phenomena here. Jimbo had never been on the ranch, but Eric explained to me that he conducted vector magnetometer surveys of the surrounding area, measuring for the strength and the direction of magnetic anomalies. And what he found pointed him here. So my research started near the area. This is the Uinta Basin. You see that area that I've put a blue marker over?
Yes.
I went in there and wanted to take some vector magnetometer readings. However, when I went to go put my magnetometer away, I carry with me a standard compass. Just the typical Boy Scout compass. I had it on a rock. It was spinning. Uncontrollably spinning. So I picked up the compass, put everything down, and I moved about 5 or 6 feet away, and it continued.
At about what rate?
Faster than a second hand.
One of the stories that we've heard on a few occasions is an old school magnetic compass would begin rotating wildly. We've seen this kind of thing before with other instrumentation. What do we make of it? I don't know. Other than the fact that something is altering the magnetic environment.
So I continued to take magnetometer reads throughout this area. West of the ranch, east of the ranch, south of the ranch, on the mesa. Most of it was typical reads, and we're talking hundreds of data points. But I had 3 reads that had the same transient magnetic read of anywhere from a negative to the mid-40s. What Jimbo reported was really interesting because a normal magnetic field reading for this desert area should be positive and in the single digits up to about 80 microteslas. For him to get negative readings in as much as minus 40 microteslas, that means there's something unusual underground, such as a void or a large metallic object or even a structure. So not only was it here, but it was right here. And I had one right there. When I plugged these 3 anomalies, they lined up in this imaginary straight line. And it ran straight through D'Angelo Ranch. I believe there's something underground.
There's all kinds of rumors that have been floating around this ranch since the day that I stepped foot on it. Whether it be underground tunnels, underground bases, alien craft that's buried under here. And so a lot of stories are all indicating that there may be something under D'Angelo Ranch.
When you look at this, you're cutting right directly through my focal and origin point, which is this location of D'Angelo Ranch. It looks like a shark tooth.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting. Jimbo Keenan, who studied the area but never been on the ranch before, has pinpointed a location that he called a shark tooth. Well, we know that as the triangle. We called that after an experiment last year where we measured anomalous energy spikes from 3 different locations across the ranch that all pointed or triangulated to this same spot, except about a mile high above the ranch. And just last week, Stephen Wall, the nephew of the Shermans, who were so scared about what they kept seeing in the 1990s that they sold the ranch and refused to ever come back, he shared a crazy story about a possible portal appearing high above the triangle as well. They were searching through the trees. It went straight up, and that hole closed. Wow. So even though we've been focusing our investigation of the triangle area high above the ground, the fact that Jimbo is getting anomalous readings at this spot below the ground makes me wonder if that's where we need to look next. So what do you think it is, Jimbo? Damn, there seems to be the potential or the possibility for a tunnel system with a water feature going like this straight down for miles. So do you think a cavity or a tunnel could be an explanation for the anomaly? Yes, absolutely. All right. Caverns with water flowing underneath the ranch might explain some strange magnetic anomalies if it's mineral water or there's salt or other ionic materials in the water that can carry an electric current. It might also explain something that happened earlier this year. A week ago, we dug into a strange and deep pit that Thomas found near Homestead 2. When we couldn't get to the bottom of it, we poured 45,000 gallons of dyed water into it just to see if it would appear somewhere else on the ranch. It all just disappeared. So now I'm wondering if Jimbo was really onto something that could not only explain where all that water went, but just maybe what's behind the weird phenomena on D'Angelo Ranch. What do you want from us about that spot, Jimbo? Do a grid pattern, search to see if there could be an explanation below ground. Well, we're more than happy to pack you into the trucks and head out and let you, continue your search. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Let's do it. All right. Since the team is very curious about disturbing the ground on D'Angelo Ranch because bizarre injuries have coincided with digging, we let Jimbo conduct an invasive vector magnetometer survey right at the triangle to see if he could confirm any anomalies.
So, James, you've personally seen caverns that seem like they're traveling down direction?
Correct. And most of these were filled with water. Okay?
Well, let's see what you find.
Can I have somebody log the numbers from a distance?
Sure.
I'll call them out.
I'm ready.
So we're 48.641, 43.842, 49.941. That's weird. Hey guys, so I've got something interesting here. We went from a peak value of 49.870 down to a 43, to about a 45. The value is actually moving without me moving. Jimbo's initial reading of about 49 microteslas was pretty normal. But then for him to almost immediately get a 6-point drop, that makes no sense to me. The natural ground shouldn't be that inconsistent.
So right now it's changing.
Correct. It's just climbing right now to 48. It's just all over the place right here. When his readings then started jumping back and forth, that made me intrigued about what could be causing it. Something strange is definitely going on here below this triangle area. 41.328. Oh, hey!
Whoa, 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 whoa!
It's dropping, Eric.
Oh no!
It's dropped all the way down to 31, Eric.
Oh no! What the heck? So, I don't know how to interpret this. I've got values from 49 to...
There was a 31.
I don't even know!
Jimbo Keenan, a researcher who believes there could be some kind of underground flooded cavern or tunnel system here at the so-called triangle area, has just picked up a series of anomalous readings with a handheld magnetometer.
So, 31 to 49.
Correct.
Okay.
Jimbo's readings did indicate a very strange disturbance in the magnetic field here underground. So who knows if that could mean he's right about a flooded cavern or tunnel, or some kind of unknown structure where people have speculated about in the past as well. So I think the next step is to get some ground-penetrating radar equipment out here and see if we can get better data or even an image or just what it could be. Well, Jimbo, this is great stuff. I think we've pretty much covered this area, and it's something weird about this spot. So I say we just shut down, load up, and head back to the command center. Sounds good to me. Well, all right. I appreciate you doing this.
Oh. Hello. Welcome to my lair. What's going on, guys?
We just reviewed the footage from the game cams.
Oh. Cool. That's wonderful.
Well, I was working with Thomas Winterton to arrange for a ground-penetrating radar expert to come check out the Triangle area. The ranch caretakers, Candace Lindy and Tom Lewis, who've been helping monitor the cattle on the ranch this summer, showed some peculiar surveillance footage to Eric Bard.
This one by the cow tree had a few things on it that we wanted you to get your hands on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, start with that one.
Okay. This one here?
There.
Okay. What? What are we looking at here? Yeah, what is that?
We don't know.
So...
And it's there, and then it's not in each of the, the frames before and after.
Okay.
With these game cams, everything's in focus. Everything's pretty clear.
Uh-huh.
And that is very unclear.
Okay.
This particular photograph, I couldn't tell what it was. It looked like something flying in the sky to me, that was cloaked and really bizarre, so I don't have any idea what that would be in a natural sense. And because this is D'Angelo Ranch, you kind of have to wonder what's going on.
I've got to tell you, I'm scratching my head on some of the features that I see here. I'm not sure what to make of this unusual dark spot in the sky. It's not unlike some of the other things that we've seen in our footage in the past. So we're going to be studying that image and look for more like it in coming days.
Then we noticed the cows left this area and didn't come back.
In the same time frame?
Yeah.
Well, I've got some of the recent movement cow tracker data. This is cumulative date for the summer. Okay. So this is really more almost like a snapshot of where the herd were. We have the movement system. The GPS tags in the ears of some of the cattle that allow us to study the movement of the herd over the course of time. One surprising result is where they tend not to congregate, as if they're avoiding certain regions of the property. We have indications of these tags being as far out of the field as here. Okay. And we even have them going down into the Serengeti, right? Down here.
Yeah.
And yet there are regions within our own field where the cows seem to avoid them.
They've been here every day, every morning.
So they love to hang out here. And you're saying they left, and correlative with that, we have the puff of smoke.
What made the footage of the blurry object and the correlation of the cattle movement away from that area so compelling is that it was in that location where last year one of the cows suddenly died. and not from natural causes. So it makes us all wonder, what is going on with that particular area? Does it have to do with whatever was captured in the footage? Or could it be something below the ground there?
Okay, well, keep them coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah, no, thank you for your time. We'll see you later.
Looks like Mana's here.
Yeah.
You guys remember Zach? Looks like some new equipment. Hey, Zach.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up there, Zach Tech?
Hey, awesome to have you back.
Welcome back, man. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
I'm thrilled to have Zach Zyla coming back out to the ranch. We're going to be taking a careful look in the Triangle area where we got those very strange vector magnetometer readings with James Keenan. What'd you bring?
I brought a ground-penetrating radar. Hopefully we can see down to maybe 10 to 15 feet, but more realistically, probably 6 to 10.
All right, sounds good.
I feel like we've looked above in this particular place pretty good, and so now it's time to Gpr the Triangle and see if we can draw our attention to specific places that we should dig. So let's get on it and get this done as quick as we can.
GPR is ground penetrating radar. We're broadcasting radar waves down into the ground and looking at the reflections in order to get an idea of what may be beneath the surface.
So I kind of see the triangle comes to a point where our trucks are. Do you mind if we kind of start right here, kind of come across this flag, and then we'll start just kind of going back and forth? You're the expert.
That's perfect.
Let's go.
Do what you need to do.
This is an area where we've seen unusual signals using other equipment. There may be something beneath the ground there, and we want to see if anything stands out.
Interesting. Hey, why don't you come take a look at this? That's going crazy. What the heck? We're putting out an electromagnetic signal into the ground, and the ground's really making that whole thing ring. You see all these black and white lines? This is actually because, the soil in the, ground beneath is highly conductive.
Certain minerals in the soil, like salt, which is common to this area, could make the ground conductive, but so could water or a water flow, like James Keenan suggested to us when he said he believes there could be flooded tunnels under the Triangle area.
Right here. You can see something kind of weird is going on in terms of, maybe ground movement. Someone kind of dug up, mushed around, and then, backfilled everything. So that point right there, you're saying that's been disturbed possibly, is in this triangle. Within kind of the two areas of the road. What the heck?
Now that we have confirmation that the soil's been disturbed, does that mean that it was just dug here in the past? Or was something actually buried here? Or more to the point, was something constructed under the ground? There's really only one way to figure that out. Do you think it'd be a good, next step that we potentially start excavating?
I think it could be, justified. Really? Well, that is interesting.
It was a mandate given to me that we were to be very cautious, in particular with digging activities. But I know that there are answers that we're trying to get to the bottom of that may actually require more of that sort of activity. So if we do it in a safe manner, then I'm prepared to let the team dig. Because I have the final say. I have spoken.
Well, let's get this loaded up.
Thanks again for coming out.
Thanks for having me again.
We do have a mini excavator on the ranch that Brandon, the ranch owner, has given permission for us to conduct shallow digs with when we find evidence of anomalies. So I think we need to take that next step and see what we find. So we ready to do this or what?
Let's dig.
Now, as we conduct our shallow dig for more scientific evidence of what could be buried in the triangle area, we're going to be very cautious since we already had a strange experience this year when we dug up the pit at Homestead 2. Something strange happened to Dragon's phone, like it was being hacked.
The phone's going crazy right now. It's like somebody hacked into it or something.
You know, I'm a scientist. Things have reasons for happening, but so many strange things happen here that I can't explain. Alright, if you start feeling anything funny, let each other know, okay? Don't be a hero. Yep, got it. Thanks. Alright, Thomas. Fire that thing up! While Thomas digs with the mini excavator, Dragon will be sifting through the spoils for anything metallic that might explain why the soil here is so conductive. Now Eric and I will be monitoring our spectrum analyzer, our gamma ray detector, the lightning strike meter, and we'll use a metal detector to see if anything else happens as we disturb the ground. Hey guys, something right here.
Next scoop.
It's weird, Eric. Look. Nothing's happening. Before it was going nuts.
Okay.
I say keep on digging. Oh! What the heck? I don't understand what could be making the metal detector register strong hits and then nothing. Once again, it's a transient anomaly that is occurring. That's weird.
What the heck?
What's going on with that?
Holy smokes.
So now, since people warn against digging, could these readings be because of that? Or is there something here underground causing it? Whoa, it's a lot stronger that time. I didn't have to make contact with the ground to make it go off.
What the heck?
I'm a foot from the ground now. I'm not even making it all the way to the bottom. But when I come up out of the hole...
Okay.
That's weird, man. The deeper we dug there, the stronger the signal was getting on the metal detector. But we found no metal objects at all in the spoils at that point. So it made me think we must be getting closer and closer to a really large object or a structure. The gamma rays just go off?
Yeah.
There it goes again.
No, not that one. Yeah, 24 micro-ohms per hour.
What does that mean?
Well, what we're seeing is more than double the normal background level.
Now it's just like wigged out.
It's malfunctioning.
What's going on?
What in the world? It's attacking everywhere. There's something about this hole.
Well, is it me or is this almost like we're triggering something?
Yeah. Look, there's nothing now. This thing was going crazy a minute ago. Something weird just happened here. Could be natural, unnatural, guys. I don't know.
What's charging it?
I mean, is this whole thing a big generator? Well, we've heard how many stories about the possibility of something underneath the ground, whether it be caverns, a base. So who's to say it couldn't be something even more crazy? We've heard stories of individuals going into these deep caves or caverns, and we've even heard crazy stories about these openings that lead to some sort of an underground base. We need to be careful of that and definitely study this area more. Yeah, the really exotic explanation is there's something under the ground here that's either causing this or using this. We just gotta keep going deeper. It's certainly not at 8 foot deep. We've now gone as deep as we can with this mini excavator, so whatever's here is deeper than we can actually reach today. I think what we need to do next is conduct a deeper magnetometry scan of this area to figure out just what's causing these energy spikes, and if it really could be a structure or a flooded tunnel system like James Keenan told us. I don't know that we are any less confused, but you know, it definitely hammers home the point that we have to study this area way more, guys. Yep. All right, well, let's pack it up and get out of here. Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
Doing well, how are you?
After our shallow dig with the mini excavator at the Triangle area didn't really find any definitive evidence of a structure of a tunnel, that means we need to dig much deeper. But before we can do anything more invasive or potentially risky like that, Brandon Fugel, the owner of D'Angelo Ranch, is going to want to see some hard scientific evidence.
Everybody, I want you to meet the team from Juniper Unmanned.
Hey,
Hey, I'm Tom. I'm the superintendent of the
how's it
ranch
going?
and everything.
Listen, I'm in charge of safety on the ranch, and so if you need me, I'm everything. So we invited Juniper Unmanned, a company that specializes in both magnetometry and LiDAR technologies to help us perform a deeper and more comprehensive scan of the triangle, as well as other hot spots around the ranch where we keep seeing anomalies.
There are a few locations of interest relative to the magnetic question. The homestead area out to the west is very interesting to us. There are a few concentrated regions here in the East Field that are also... they have some interesting history. So, no shortage of interesting sights on this ranch.
Let's get it done. Great.
They want to know if there could be a connection between the pit at Homestead 2, where all that water disappeared earlier this year, and the Triangle area, which may have flooded tunnels below it. So I'm really interested in what the magnetometry scan is going to tell us.
You think this will work? Yeah, I think this will be a good place to get started.
Well, heck, let us get out of your way, right? You guys get it going. I want to see it fly. Okay, I'm going to power up the drone. Starting to route. Route. Juniper's drone is equipped with a sophisticated magnetometer device that will scan the entire area, sensing for any magnetic anomalies 100 or more feet underground. So if there are tunnels or structures there, we should get a good indication of it. Alright. I'm at altitude. Whoa, look at it go. Turning on the first line.
That's really cool.
The magnetometer's nice and stable.
Of course, I'm very excited to see all the data that we're collecting. But I think the magnetic survey really holds the greatest promise for providing insights into some of the strange things that have happened out at the homestead and at the point of the mesa.
Alright, so it's about to turn toward us. We spent the better part of the day running these magnetometry and LiDAR surveys in the Triangle area, Homestead 2, and the Eastern Field. So hopefully, once we process all the data, we'll have a much more complete picture of what could be going on both above and below the property. The magnetometer is nice and stable. Then we can talk to Brandon and decide as a team how much harder and deeper we are willing to poke this nest to get to the bottom of D'Angelo Ranch. Gear down. Landing. Oh.
All right, guys. Well, let's pack up and let's get out of here.
Sounds good. I'll allow it.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, good to see you again. How you doing? Howdy. We're pretty excited about the data that we've been able to produce for you all.
Juniper compiled all this data of pretty much the entire ranch, and we can't wait to see if there are any anomalous readings that they got under the ground here on the ranch.
It would be better for us to go to those locations that you gentlemen found interesting in this survey.
What I'm showing here, this is our LiDAR point cloud of the entire section that we collected. As the first area that I'd like to point out, it is just southeast of the helicopter pad. There are a couple circles that showed up on the ground surface. As you're walking along, you might not notice the difference in the terrain. There's clearly a circle right here. Guys, you can clearly see the circle there. That is very interesting. And you know, it's not far from where that cone died.
No, it's right by that.
Yeah, I mean, it's what, 10 feet, right? Or 20 feet, maybe? Looks like there's a depression going around all the way around it. What is that? Probably 50 feet across? 100? 1,000? I think they're about 10 to 20 feet across. Within what, 1,000,000 feet, right? Yeah, I thought so. It definitely does not look like a natural feature to us here at the office.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to have a look at the magnetometry results.
Here is the magnetic data of the whole property. And as you'll see, we've got some hot, bright colors in the southeast, and it moves off to greens and blues, cooler colors to the north. The cooler colors represent lower magnetic intensity readings, and the warmer colors are higher. If I move a little to the west here, we have Homestead 2.
Really? There's extreme magnetic field anomaly compared to the rest of the background right there. You know what? That's exactly where we always have trouble with
With everything.
yeah, with everything.
Really?
Can you zoom in a little bit? I want to see exactly where that is in the road. I mean, it's clearly a magnetic anomaly there. The really high magnetic readings at Homestead Deuce are incredible. We've had so much happen there above ground this year with our portal investigations, but this scientific data is telling us there has to be something below ground, like a void or maybe even a structure. I really think we need to convince Brandon to let us drill a hole there and see what that is.
We did a survey over the triangle, a magnetic survey. Here's the triangle. There's something going on right here.
Could you just stop right there and go a little bit more transparent with the magnetic data? Right there. You see that, boys? What's really interesting about the magnetic anomaly at the triangle is how it looks like an elongated feature or possibly two main objects with something running between them. So from the lore about some kind of base under the ranch to James Keenan's theory about a tunnel, we really need Brandon's blessing to explore deeper underground there. Well, that's some interesting stuff. And it gives us, some things to dig deeper into and maybe even some spots to go look at a little closer.
This is really great. It's a feature-rich report that we're getting out of this.
Great. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
So it's telling us there's something going on in the ground, particularly there at the Homestead area. So we're being led by the data to explore that even more deeply.
And then around the triangle, the weird oscillating, let me out here. Magnetic anomaly is just weird. Maybe we just didn't dig, deep enough to see if there's an opening.
Drill more. Drill deeper.
I agree with that. Given that, I think we should call Brandon and talk to him about it. Yeah, let's do that.
I'd like to know what he thinks as well.
I have spoken.
I see him now.
Yep, there's Dragon.
After conducting comprehensive magnetometry and LiDAR scans across the ranch with the representatives from Juniper, we got the data back, which revealed that at each area of interest, the Triangle, Homestead 2, and in the eastern field, there appeared to be anomalous features or possibly structures below the ranch. So we've asked Brandon to fly in from Salt Lake City to meet with us so we can explain why we now think it's necessary to do some excavations and deeper drilling than we've ever done before. Hey guys. To find out what could be causing the bizarre phenomena on his property. Hopefully he'll agree.
We want to brief you on some plans that we have for exploring even beneath the ground.
Wow.
What I'd like to do is, I'd like to bring it up on the map and discuss the motivations, discuss the data that we have.
Let's do it.
I'd like to start with the area where we saw the passing of that cow last year. We did see some features in our LiDAR surveys. Possibly something beneath the ground could account for some of what's been reported.
And we now know that cows are avoiding that spot. So it's interesting. I feel like there are a few areas on the ranch, let alone anywhere in the world, where you can see that type of activity.
It's a diversity of activity.
Yeah. And our second spot here,
Yeah.
you can tell is right by Homestead 2 area. We had a magnetometer
Mm-hmm.
that would measure the amplitude and specific direction of the magnetic field. And in that spot, it showed there's extreme magnetic field anomaly right there. We definitely need to investigate further, guys. This seems to be a very real area of interest. Very
Let's just
real.
continue across the property on our map. This triangle area has a lot of history.
I mean, this is right underneath where last year we lost the balloon at 5,000 feet above the ranch. Last year, we launched a weather balloon equipped with energy detectors about a mile high above the triangle area, hoping to get some data. 1 mile up, it just stops sending data.
Yeah.
But the sensors suddenly just stopped returning data, and we never found the balloon. We thought something up there must have caused that. But could it be because of this possible cavern or tunnel system we've now detected deep underground? So what have you observed most recently in this area that would cause you to believe that you need to dig deeper?
Strange behavior of the metal detectors
Mm-hmm.
in very specific locations. We also have, in the opinion of Zach Zyla, might I add,
Mm-hmm.
that in fact, yes, our soil is unusually highly conductive.
Well, I think that's noteworthy. There's something to it that's important, guys. We need to see what's underground.
We've identified multiple locations where we feel like there will be an insight payoff if we do some drilling.
What are you recommending?
We're not talking about poking small holes in the ground. No, sir.
Yeah, these might be as much as 20 inches or so. Wow. And we're going to hope to get down beyond 50 foot deep. Maybe even to 100 foot deep. At least in a couple spots. That's a lot. The ranch is a complicated place. There are great risks associated with any activity on the property. We're always concerned about disturbing the earth because we've seen some very disturbing things happen as we have disturbed the earth in the past. Most notably, Thomas Winterton's incident, but also, sadly, others. Well, I have some interesting news to share. You know, I recently conferenced with Ryan Skinner, who has really gained the confidence of the Sherman family, specifically Gwen Sherman. And Gwen revealed that there is an actual location of the area on the ranch where the Shermans said not to dig. I was stunned when Brandon told us how he had just gotten a hold of new information about the Sherman family and another location where something strange could be buried underground on D'Angelo Ranch. I'd like to share with you the coordinates.
I'm ready.
40 degrees, 15 minutes, 23.0652 seconds north. Eric, let's see exactly where that is. Is there a landmark or a rock right there?
There's something right on that point.
Look at that. I own that. It's really interesting to me that when Eric types in the coordinates and he puts a pin in, it shows up right in the middle of the rock. That is really an intriguing thing, boys. Obviously, we need to go look at the rock and survey it. And then we need to do some careful excavation. This spot is very near Homestead 2 and between Homestead 2 and the Triangle. So could there be some kind of connection between these 3 points that might reveal something if we can just get deep underground? Dragon, do you feel comfortable? After doing everything that we can in a non-invasive way, well, and talking with those guys, these guys, and those guys over there, and seeing where the investigation is, it's gotten to the point where, you know, we kind of need to really start exploring under the ground here. If you're prepared to take on that responsibility, then I'd like to proceed aggressively. Especially while the weather permits. One thing that we have learned over the course of the last few years is that strange activity has been reported on this property, going back at least to the early 1900s. Maybe even hundreds to thousands of years, like on Ancient Aliens, airing Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central on the History Channel. Exactly. And I believe the search for the truth trumps any of your all's personal safety. I mean, your previous effort to try to cloak or really, I think, keep a lot of these events secret. And even though there has been warning given in the past, I feel like we have an imperative to dig both literally and figuratively to get to the bottom of what is at work at D'Angelo Ranch. We're going to find answers to something that has baffled people for eons, maybe. I'm comfortable with executing immediately and taking a very aggressive approach on this property.
I guess we've got marching orders.
We'll keep you updated and posted on everything as well. Okay, well with that, let me walk you guys out. Let's head on out. There's no question that it's a distinct possibility that some of the phenomenon that are taking place on D'Angelo Ranch is associated with something beneath the ranch. I know that I've given a lot of pushback about disturbing the earth and digging and things of that nature, but I realize that for the investigation, it's probably a necessary exercise.
The only way we're going to get answers is to dig. I'm not scared to dig, but I am cautious. The superstitious side of me still believes that there's something that takes place when you dig on this ranch.
People have said for a long time that when you start digging on the ranch, it stirs up activity. We're no longer in our comfort zone. And we're dealing with the ranch in a way that may never have been attempted before.
This is a key moment where we're about to embark on the next frontier. We all take a deep breath. We all carefully consider not only the risks, but also the gravity of what lies ahead and what we may yet reveal at D'Angelo Ranch. Cue the music. I have spoken.